In our current world, we have a problem we wish to remain oblivious to because we don't think it's our problem. Our crude oil banks are depleting at a rapid rate, and by 2069 there will be no more crude oil in the world, a vital ingredient for many goods. As our oil becomes scarcer, prices will go up, and your average family won't be able to afford their most required possession, their vehicles. Our world will come to a standstill, our way of living gone, like a final few drops of oil. Of course, we will find a major alternative, unless we find a major alternative to fuel our cars. As a society, we have already invented some ways of powering our vehicles without petrol, such as hydrogen cells or electric vehicles. But what if we used the very chemical we exhale from our bodies to power our vehicles? Carbon dioxide can be useful for more than just a waste product for respiration. Take photosynthesis, for example. By taking carbon dioxide and water, plants create their own food supply and, in turn, energy. What if, somehow, we use a similar process to photosynthesize in order to feed our vehicles? Rather than taking your vehicle to the petrol station for petrol, your vehicle can be self-sustaining and never run low on fuel. My proposed idea is to create an alternative form of energy source to run vehicles based on the capture of carbon dioxide and water, in which the ultimate goal is to have oxygen as a waste product. Nowadays, vehicles run on petroleum, and as a waste product, they produce carbon monoxide, which is contributing to the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. My idea is to reverse this, therefore decreasing carbon dioxide levels and increasing oxygen levels, much like photosynthesis with plants. It will produce oxygen as a waste product and will decrease the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. A downside to the idea I proposed is that it will be more useful in areas of which there is a high concentration of carbon dioxide emissions, but not limited to. This means that further advances in technology will have to be made so that these engines can run wherever you are in the world. The upside? We will be decreasing our carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere, and possibly even eliminate our contribution to this level with the use of many vehicles on the roads. This energy source will provide the future human generation with eco-friendly, sustainable modes of transportation and will be very useful in regulating the carbon emissions in the atmosphere. All this said, why would it benefit New Zealand, a country with a large amount of farming and not as large of a population? Firstly, if New Zealand creates a car that runs on carbon dioxide and presents it to the world, it will revolutionize our clean green country that many tourists come to see. It will most definitely increase tourism, and this links to the business venture of this idea can create for our country. Due to us decreasing our carbon dioxide, our industries will be able to expand in the most efficient way if they produce carbon dioxide as a certain radius from a densely populated area. This will, in turn, boost our economy and bring more money into New Zealand to boost public systems such as education and health. Many New Zealanders are against drilling for crude oil in our many oil banks dotted throughout New Zealand and its borders. If New Zealand and the rest of the globe incorporate vehicles that run on carbon dioxide and excrete oxygen as a waste product, we will deplete our need for excavation of oil by vast quantities. The engine will run as an energy source. This energy source will capture carbon dioxide from the air through the use of filters that will run from the front of the vehicle, where a filter system is going to allow the filtration of carbon dioxide from the air. Through the filtration system, the carbon dioxide that has been collected will be transported to a chamber of cells where the idea is that the carbon dioxide will have its intermolecular covalent bonds broken so that it is separated into its 3 elemental atoms, 2 carbons and 1 oxygen atoms. This will require energy to occur, so, much like trees requiring light for photosynthesis to occur, the vehicles will have this energy source have an additional source of light power, or through heat energy through the friction of the wheels, to provide it with the energy to break the bonds, and in turn bond these atoms to the water molecules atoms to produce a form of glucose. The glucose will be the base of the source of energy that's going to run the engine, and the oxygen will be the waste product, as it is with photosynthesis. You may be asking, why is this idea good for our industries and business ventures? If New Zealand creates a car that runs on carbon dioxide and presents it to the world, it will most definitely increase tourism and increase business ventures this idea can create for our country, as we will be selling our green image to tourists worldwide. Our New Zealand-owned industries will be able to increase their carbon footprint to create the most efficient and quality products and increase their production at the same time, because we will be able to counteract the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere it is releasing, provided the industries are near a densely populated city with these vehicle engines. As carbon dioxide emissions are a global issue, we will have a global market to sell our vehicles' engines to. There are many factors that this revolutionary idea will create. The factors are, not limited to, and examples of environmental factors are that there will be a vast decrease in carbon dioxide levels in densely populated cities. A social factor is that the vehicle will be affordable to run. A current example is that many of us may not be able to visit families or friends because of the price of petrol rising. However, this will be a distant problem once vehicles which run on carbon dioxide is produced, as their fuel would be free. This factor links in with a wealth factor because these vehicles will be self-sufficient. Lastly, a health factor for New Zealanders is that we will create healthier ways of transportation because of the waste product will be oxygen instead of carbon dioxide, which will reduce carbon dioxide poisoning and smog in large cities, which may cause accidents. Thank you for listening about my proposed idea, and this concludes my presentation. I hope to see many vehicles in the streets that run on carbon dioxide in the near future, thus producing a cleaner air for us and other animals to breathe in, and in turn fueling our future.